Ready, fight!
Welcome to the cave. Hello team, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Caveman betting show. So this is a brand new daily sports betting show. We're going to be coming through about 3 times a week to begin with. Each show we're going to be breaking down a variety of different sporting events that are coming up over the coming days. We're going to be bringing special guests on as well for them to give their analysis on different games. We're going to be giving out a ton of free bets, some best bets, stuff we like, future picks. Basically everything's coming at you at the brand new Caveman Sports Betting Show. Now guys, please give the channel a subscribe, give the video a like, and make sure to share it out and comment on anything you like about the video. Also, if you want to become a guest on the show, send me a message. If you have a sporting event coming up, you have an edge on, something you want to give a breakdown about, or a bet you really like, we'll get you on, we'll get you into the guest segment, and we'll be able to make some money together. Alright, so let's get straight into this. I'm going to start off with an NRL game coming up on Sunday. We have the Bulldogs versus the West Tigers. Now, the Bulldogs have been absolute garbage this season. They're the cellar dwellers, absolute favourites to take the wooden spoon. The Tigers haven't been that much better, but they are still in the hunt for the finals. Now, it's not a great look for them. They're practically going to have to win out the rest of the season, but they are still alive. Now, the Tigers have been doing well this season up against poor teams. They've done very poorly against good teams, apart from the one game against the Rabbitohs. They basically lost the game from the clutch of victory. But before that, they were just absolutely atrocious against good teams. Coming up against the bottom team in the competition, this is one where the Tigers need to shine. Now, I'm going for the Tigers minus 6.5 points. That's on the handicap line. So you're getting about $1.90, or that would be minus 110 in American there. I like the Tigers on the line. I also like David Nofaluma, the right wing, to score a try in this one. You're looking at about $1.65 for Nofaluma to get in across the line. Now, the Bulldogs have given up 17 tries to right wingers this season. They've been absolutely terrible on that side of the field. And with the Tigers, the way they're set up, Adam Dewey here is going to be playing on the right-hand side in the halves, and he controls that whole side of the field. He loves swinging the ball out, and when he's in the halves, the ball naturally migrates that way anyway. So I like the Tigers this week, minus 6.5, and David Nofaluma to score a try. I've got another NRL game coming up on Sunday as well that I really like. We have the Titans playing the Cowboys. Now, the Titans are a team that are in the hunt for the playoffs. I think they are in a spot at the moment that will get them there. The Cowboys have just been a bit of a letdown this season. They've had a few injury issues, and they're just not there. They don't know how to use their main man, Jason Taumalolo. They're bringing him in on the edge this week instead of in lock forward. So to me, it just shows they're not really sure about what they're doing. Now, this game is going to be played in Cbus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast. The way the Cowboys have been this season is they have not been any good at all when they're not playing in North Queensland. So with the home game, and let's be honest with the Titans, they've been pretty terrible in away games as well, but they've been able to pull it together in home games. So I like the Titans on the line, which is about minus 12.5. You're also looking at the 13 or more. You will get different numbers for those at different books, so shop around. At some places you're going to be better to take the line, At other places, you're going to be better to take the 13 plus. So have a bit of a shop around and see for this one. If we are to look at a try scorer for this game, I'm going to be on Corey Thompson. Now, Corey Thompson is going to be playing on the left wing for the Titans, and the left wingers have been brilliant up against the Cowboys this season. The Cowboys have given up 20 tries to left wingers this season. They've been getting absolutely demolished on that flank. Corey Thompson is an absolute workhorse. He just takes his hit-ups, he gets his carries, he gets his meters, and he likes to jag his meat pies as well. He hasn't got one for a couple of weeks now since he's been back in the side from injury, so he's definitely due, and you cannot negate quality. Now, the third match that I really like this week, we're moving over to the UFC. And this is the first fight on the card. So it's Johnny Munoz versus Jamie Simmons. Of course, on the UFC 265, Cyril Gane versus Derek Lewis card. Now, to me, I have this fight one way and one way only, and that is Johnny Munoz for the win. Now, Munoz has been a great fighter in the past, and he's fought some decent opposition as well. Of course, only one professional loss on his record. If we have a look at the way that Munoz likes to get his wins, KO, he does alright. Submission, he does quite well. Now, the way that I like to see this fight go is Johnny Munoz on the double chance. So Munoz by KO or submission. I think he can really get Simmons to the ground, and whether he decides to smash his face in or go for an armbar or even get the rear naked choke is completely up to him. Munoz has an advantage in every aspect of this fight. He's a better striker, he's a better grappler, he's better in the clinch, he's got better fight IQ as well. If we have a look at this, significant strikes landed 3.27 versus 0.52. I mean, I know this is more the UFC odds, but there's really no comparison you can bring there. Munoz has been winning a lot by submission in the past, but like I say, I'm going for that double chance. Basically, Munoz to win by finish. You're going to be getting $2.35 on the odds there, plus 135, which is terrific. So opening the card on the UFC, I think it's the best way to go. Now, we're going to go for a look-ahead game for our next one, and this is going to be a game in the English Premier League coming up next weekend. So the Premier League, of course, week 1 coming in next week, and I'm going to be looking at Everton versus Southampton. Now, the big one here, Everton, they've changed their coach. They now have Rafa Benitez coming in, which I don't mind. It's still a very, very solid coach, but really it's the same team that they've had last year. The team hasn't changed much. There's not been a lot of gone in, not been a lot of gone out, which is absolutely brilliant for this team to be able to start the season. It means they're not going to have continuity issues as well as a coaching and system change. Southampton, on the other hand, now they've lost a guy. They've lost Danny Ings, their main striker, and Danny Ings is crucial to the Southampton side. Now, there were a bunch of games last season, 9 games it was, where Danny Ings did not play. Southampton had 1 win, 3 draws, and 5 losses. That 1 win came up against, I think it was a horrific Newcastle side at the beginning of the season when they were decimated by injuries. So I wouldn't even worry too much about that, and it was a home game there for Southampton. Everton are going to be at home this week, so I really like Everton to start the season with a win. Now we're getting $1.91 for Everton to win, which I think is terrific odds. There's no way that I can see them lose this game. Maybe something happens and you get a draw, but the value is absolutely on Everton to win. You can shop that price around. You might find plus 100 somewhere, a $2 line, which would be terrific. I see excellent value on that one. Now that brings us to our guest segment for the week. And our first guest coming up on the show is going to be Trav, aka La Flame, all the way from Black Swan Bets. All right, so here is Trav, aka La Flame, all the way from Black Swan Bets. Trav, how have you been? How's your betting going?
Betting's been going okay. AFL's towards the end of this regular season now, and it's getting difficult, but not difficult, if that makes sense. Like, you kind of know which players are going to be in and around, but been quite unlucky with a few disposals falling one short in a few of the SGMs. But I've got some good gold this week, but that's not what I'm going to be touching on today.
Excellent, excellent. So I hear you have some basketball tips coming up. What do you like in the hoops?
Look, I woke up this morning to check the odds because France won last night against Slovenia. And seeing France at 750, it's just way too good to pass up.
750, that seems like a lot. I mean, this USA team had quite a few losses in the build up to the Olympics.
Well, I'm not, like, most people think I'm going off the fact that France beat them in the group stage, which I am to an extent, but it's just how they've been playing the whole time. So France had a really good team game against Slovenia. Some may say that they're lucky that Dragic only played 11 minutes, and a lot was probably left up to Luka a bit too much, who didn't shoot well. But France are a really good team. Team USA is basically Team Durant. Like, Booker got hot when it was over, but the only reason they beat the Boomers was Delhi was airballing open layups. So I hope I never see him in a Boomers jersey again. I've been saying that for about 4 years. Two, Durant was just on fire. And the Boomers were missing a lot of open threes. If France get a 15-point lead and the US let them have that big lead at halftime, I don't think they'll peg it back.
No, I agree with you there. I haven't been following the basketball as much. I mean, obviously, when you look at the team lists, USA has a lot of solid players on that team, but it looks like a lot of solid individuals. And like you say, the French team is playing a team game. And I mean, basketball is a team sport. It's not the Durant Olympics, it's the basketball team Olympics. So yeah, at 750, I absolutely love that.
Yeah. I think the US is so short because A, it's the US, and B, how they smacked the Boomers in the second half. But that was more the Boomers. Team USA still weren't playing great basketball. So I thought France would probably be around $4. Then I saw 650 on lads. Then I went to Sportsbet and it was 750. And you got to take some of that because the French have been playing very well. They're playing super basketball. So, and everyone says, the NBA players, like, they've got quite a few NBA players as well, the French, and they know how to play FIBA. So I think the US's problem is they always seem to just pick the best individuals available. They don't actually pick what might actually be best for playing FIBA rules. Like, Lillard is horrible in this format.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, Lillard is a assist and three or bust kind of guy at the moment.
Yeah. And they're just their small ball lineup. Well, there is no big lineup really. Their big lineup's basically got Draymond Green in it, who's not a big really. He plays big, but I really worry about how they're going to guard Rudy Gobert because he's actually been scoring quite well as well. So I don't think there's much they can do about that inside. And also, Evan Fournier is just an absolute boss in FIBA. Like, he's okay in parts in the NBA, but he just goes to a different level like a lot of these other guys do. So France 750. I think the line's 12.5. I would be chucking that in some multis this weekend as well.
Excellent. That's great to hear. So we will look into that one. Now, we're going to be keeping a bit of a tally going on with all the guests coming through on the show. So we'll be staking it out at 1 unit on the France 750 and keeping a tally of win-loss as well. So we can see when you come onto the show next time, how you're getting on against anyone else. Now, do you have anything you want to promo or any shout-outs you have there?
I've got a fair few tips on blackswanbets.com at the moment. So if you go to LaFlame's tips, that's me. I'm hitting the AFL still. I've got cricket. I'm doing a lot more exotics, which are up about 35 to 40 units currently. That's for the horse racing. And yeah, with a lot more cricket coming up, I'm definitely looking forward to, trying to find some value in that market. So blackswanbets.com/LaFlame. And I'm pretty chattable. So if you end up, trying my tips out for 7 days, you can get them for free. And all my chat rooms on Telegram are generally open to conversation. So I like a bit of banter.
Excellent. That's great to know. Well, thank you very much for coming onto the show. And we'll be following the French to get up in the basketball. And we hope to see you back on the show soon.
Go the Frogs.
Thank you to Trav, aka LaFlame, for his insight on the USA versus France basketball game there. He's going with France for the big upset. Now we're going to move into our future bet of the day, and our future bet today is going to be coming in from the Champions League. Now we're going for the outright winner of the Champions League, and we're going to go with PSG. PSG is a team I really like this season in the Champions League. I've got the predicted starting lineup up there. As you can see, guys like Neymar, Mbappe, Verratti, Hakimi. The new additions now, we have Sergio Ramos, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Giorgio Wijnaldum are all in that team just to make this team even better. Now, they've got to the summit over the last few years. They've managed to get to right at the top, the final, the semi-finals. They just need to take that extra step. Now, there's big news that happened today, and that was Barcelona unable to re-sign Lionel Messi. I have Messi as a favourite to sign up with PSG. Now, I think this is probably going to be one of his preferred destinations. There's about 3 or 4 places on the cards, but this is where I think he should end up. And if you get Messi in here, well, you can move his compatriot Di Maria out of the starting lineup and put Lionel Messi in there. This team is elite. Right now, PSG to win the Champions League is paying 650 plus 550, which is incredible odds. I am all over those odds right now. If Messi does decide to sign up with PSG, then those odds are going to plummet and the value will absolutely be gone. I have heard rumours that he has been talking with PSG management. These are just rumours, so they haven't been confirmed. But either way, even without Messi coming into this team, I think this lineup is absolutely good enough to make it to the Champions League final and get their first win. They also have a solid bench as well to be able to get them there and manage all the rigours of the French league as well. So that does it for our first episode of the Caveman Sports Betting Show. I hope you enjoyed the content. We're going to end with one final thing here, and that is a best bet tip. Now, out of all the tips that I've given you today, I'm going to pick my favorite one each week. We're going to call it a 1-unit play, and we're going to keep track of how we're going, and let's build up some value together. So my favorite play from everything we've gone through today is going to be the Johnny Munoz Jr. double chance KO sub at 235 plus 135. That's going to be a Caveman lock of the week. That's what we're going to be going for. Thank you everyone for watching. Please guys, give the video a subscribe. Give the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, share it out with your friends. Like I say, I'm going to be coming out with these videos 3 times a week, and we'll be going through a future 2 to 3 days worth of bets there. So it means you don't have to be live as soon as the video drops to still be able to get on all the goodies. Thank you very much guys, and happy betting. Please gamble responsibly.